going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile.
So this mindset makes no sense to me, because why would I be panicked if I was 37 and single? I would be panicked if I woke up at 37 and I had 3 kids running around and I was in a relationship with a man who could not support me.
What?
And I was in a relationship with a man who could not support me.
You see, guys, it's all about the Benjamins.
Propaganda tool.
And we have no connection, and I now have to figure out how to unwind and get out of this relationship that is doing nothing for me. But like being single, vibing, like I'm in my beautiful New York City apartment, I'm good. There's no panic over here. And as I get older, the only thing that causes me panic is seeing the relationships that a lot of the straight women in my life are settling for. And this idea of the panic and the doom that's gonna come when you hit your late 30s, it is so rooted in patriarchy. Because think about it, if we—
Oh, shut up.
Sweetie, this whole video is obviously cope, but I get it. You're 37, you still get some attention from men, and you obviously think that you're not done with the carousel. Fair enough. Wait until you're single and childless at 67, and every day is pretty much this.
They call her the cat lady. People say she's crazy just because she has a few dozen cats. But can anyone who loves animals that much really be crazy?
See, a lot of you lovely modern ladies think children are a burden, but in your twilight years, make no mistake, that beautiful New York apartment will never make up for a loving family, and neither will 50 cats.
You're goddamn right.
But by all means, Queen, keep slaying. The patriarchy doesn't give a crap.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
Real talk, the vast majority of so-called independent women aren't actually independent. They still expect a man to pay for everything in a relationship, only they're gonna be annoying, combative, and uncooperative the whole time he's paying for everything. And honestly, most of us don't feel like paying for a headache.
I think the most action I got was while I was in the hospital. I couldn't move. They had me kept for almost a month in a laying flat position, but I was in a learning hospital. So I had a really hot student nurse who had to catheter me.
Girl?
It was a boy.
Oh.
Yeah, he was actually, he wasn't going to catheter me. The other lady was, and he was like, "Oh, I'm learning today." And I was like, "Do you want to do it?"
I don't like where this is going.
You know, the rational and legal part of me wants to think that by action, she means that the male nurse inserted a urinary catheter instead of the other lady who was supposed to do it. But since I've heard a few horror stories about nurses, and this is Adriana Chechek we're talking about, the realistic part of me concludes that she invited the male nurse to eggplant her while she was in the hospital with a broken back, and the male nurse did just that. But to be honest, I'm not really sure.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Nobody with an ounce of masculinity in their body. Nobody with an ounce of dignity or respect in their body strands their girlfriend or their wife, ever. That's cowardly, childish behavior. No man with any sort of masculinity, any sort of strength or dignity or responsibility takes all the money out of the account and says, "You got to go through me," as though you're some kind of overlord.
Comrade, first of all, there's really no benefit to being a simp. Seriously, it gives you wrinkles on your eggplant. Second, if my girlfriend pissed me off enough for me to dump her on the side of the road or in a hotel room, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it because, you see, she's a strong, independent woman and she can call an Uber, and being a masculine man doesn't mean I have to tolerate a woman's BS behavior. Quite the opposite. Now, if we're talking about my wife, well, I'd never leave her on the side of the road, because the woman I marry, if I ever decide to get married, will have been properly vetted and she would never pull that kind of crap. As far as money goes, I am the supreme overlord of everything I own, and I don't believe in joint bank accounts. So, if she wants to spend my money, she needs my permission to do so.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.